So at the start of the movie, we see a worried couple that brings their son to a girl. That girl was a kind of exorcist. This means she has control over spirits. And she understands while seeing the condition of peoples that what's the problem with them. Is any soul is controlling that person or not? The couple who bring their son there were worried because the condition of their son was worse. Their son used to see something. He gets scared after seeing it. And he often starts shivering. This means his body starts shaking. The couple tells that girl that our son had stolen a necklace of a woman 3 days ago. Since then his condition is worse. That woman is not taking that necklace back. Our son is also not recovering. That girl says to the couple, don't worry. Take him inside. After it, she makes that boy lay down with a cloth on him. But that boy was also suffering here. As he is seeing something. As he is listening to the voices. Then suddenly something starts controlling him. As someone has control of him. That girl starts reading something, but then a soul comes. And it starts destroying everything. It throws that kid while lifting him up. That kid was scared badly. Then the earth of that place opens. It pulls that kid inside it. That girl means exorcist gets shocked after seeing it. She says to that kid that we will meet again. Here this scene cuts. Then we see the present time. We are shown a girl, Christine. She is doing a job in a bank. She is a loan officer there. She was sincere with her job. One day she comes to her boss and asks him that when I will be promoted. When I will become the senior assistant. Her boss says that if you deserve that you will surely become. I also have hired a new man. And if he seems good to me I will make him the senior assistant. We are shown Christine's friend. He comes to her office to meet her. That man was a professor. He was fond of the coin collection. Then Christine gives him an old coin. He becomes happy after having it. After it, Christine again comes to her office. She sees that the new man hired by her boss. He was talking to him nicely. As he is making his marks. To get that promotion. Christine doesn't like this. Because she has worked hard from the beginning. To get this place. After it, Christine again starts her work. Then an old lady comes to her. That old lady says to Christine that please extend the duration of my house loan. Because the circumstances of our house are not well. I couldn't return this loan right now. Then Christine thinks that what should I do now? She takes all the papers and documents to her boss. Her boss says that these are the things from which I will decide that did you deserve to be the assistant. You should make these decisions by yourself. It's up to you that what decision you will make and make me happy. Christine thinks a lot. And after coming out she returns the documents to that old lady. She says to her that sorry I can't extend this duration. She wasn't like this but she has to do this for promotion. That old lady starts weeping. She says don't do this. You don't know about my circumstances. I come here in compulsion. But Christine couldn't do anything. She calls the security and asks them to take that old lady out from here. That old lady thinks that she has insulted her in front of all. That lady starts reacting strangely. Her one eye was of stone and her nails were dirty. As she hasn't cut or cleaned them for a long time. Security takes her out of the bank. That old lady says that you didn't do good. After it, we see that it was the evening time. After getting free from work, Christine was going to her home. As she sits in her car she sees that an old lady was sitting in the back seat. That old lady was about to attack Christine. She tries to kill her. But Christine somehow pushes her from her car. That old lady also pushes Christine from her car. Then she pulls a button off her coat. And starts reading something on it. Here we can also see that the teeth of that old lady were dirty and strange. Those were not looking like human teeth. With it, Christine gets faint. When she comes to her senses she sees that the old lady was not anywhere. But the police were there. The police were asking questions and doing investigating from her. The next day, Christine and her friend were on an outing. Her friend took her on an outing so that she will feel good. Then there was a shop of a palm reader. This means a man who can tell about spirits and about the future. Christine insists her friend go inside it. I want to ask many things from that man. For her sake, her friend has to go with her. That fortune teller charged $60 from Christine. Christine's friend wasn't liking this, because he was thinking that he is a fraud. But as that fortune teller sees the hand of Christine, he returns her $60 to her and says to her that take her money and take care of yourself. Someone has done black magic on you. He tells her that the button of her coat is missing and it is linked with it somehow. Here we have the idea that the person who has done the black magic was none other than that weird old lady. But Christine's friend, while saying all this fraud, comes out from there. He says not to pay attention to this. Now Christine goes to her home. After going home, strange things happen to her. She sees the shadows. She starts listening to the voices. When her friend comes there, she tells everything to her friend. Her friend says that I told you that your condition is not good. Maybe on that day when you get faint. It may be after affects you. But Christine says that no, this is not my imagination. I am experiencing it. The next day, Christine, after covering herself, goes to the bank again. When she was sitting at her place, she feels like that old lady has come to her again. Because she feels like that old lady has put her hand on her desk. Those dirty nails. With it, Christine's nose starts bleeding. She gets confused by all this. She gets scared that what is happening with me. She goes from there while weeping. She goes to that old lady's house. When she knocks on the door, the daughter of that old lady comes from inside. She says that why you come here? Leave from here. Like you took out my old mother. Then Christine says to her to forgive me. I didn't do this willingly. Please let me meet her for once. The daughter of that old lady hardly takes Christine inside. When Christine goes inside, she sees that the old lady was dead. Her dead body was there. Now Christine couldn't apologize to her, because now it was too late. Seeing it, she becomes hopeless. Then that old lady's daughter says that I know that what's the problem with you. I also know that my mother had done black magic on you. I would say that it happened right. The people like you deserve the same. Now its effects will never be finished. So never come here again. Christine was going insane. She can't understand that what to do. She goes to that fortune teller from there. That fortune teller tells her that the old lady had done bad black magic on you. It is a curse and it will irritate you first 3 days, like you will wish to kill yourself. But you will not kill yourself. After 3 days that curse will take you with it. And your soul also. And it will drag you to hell. Due to which you will die for always. But there is a solution for it. Before it, if you will sacrifice any animal, the curse will be shifted on that animal from you. This means if that animal's soul will go, your soul can be saved, so please don't get late. But Christine doesn't believe in all this. She says that why I take any animal's life for no reason. That fortune teller tells her that do remember that the things happening with you are less. There will be many cruel happen with you and you can never forget them. You also can't bear them. As Christine goes home, the strange things start happening to her. That soul scares her. That soul was a curse to her. Now when everything was out of Christine's control, she calls her pet cat near her. And unwillingly she sacrifices her. Maybe everything will be fine. Meanwhile, her friend arrives there. He says to her that I want to marry you. Please meet my parents for this. Maybe you will feel good. Christine agrees with it. Because she was irritated from the situation happening with her. Now it was dinner time. And Christine makes a tasty cake with her hands. Then she goes to meet her friend's parents. And they start talking. Now they were eating the cake after cutting. When Christine starts to eat her cake, she sees the eye of that old lady in her slice. She gets scared. Meanwhile, she hears the voices of those spirits. She gets scared and starts being panicked. Even then she controls herself and shows as nothing has happened. But those voices were out of control now. Christine was irritated from them. She picks a glass and throws it towards the side from where the voices were coming. Her friend's mother doesn't like this. Christine goes from there while being embarrassed. Then the friend of Christine's friend says to him that leaves her, that girl is not suitable for you. I don't like her. Christine goes to that fortune teller in anger. She says to him that you told me a lie. That after sacrificing any animal my life will be saved. I have sacrificed my beloved cat because you said that. But it didn't work. Then that fortune teller says that now it is too late. And you have a lot of curse. For it, we have to talk to that soul directly. So that it can leave you. Otherwise, tomorrow is the last day and after it, it will take your soul with it. Christine says that tell me anything, I just want to get freedom. Then that fortune teller says that a lady can help us in this matter. But her charges are too much. Maybe there will be the risk of your life in it. But there are also the chances that the soul will leave you. This means you are hanging 50-50 in it. Now Christine gets worried. That from where she will get this much money. So she goes to her bank and says to her boss that please give me this loan. I will return it from my salary when I will get the promotion. Her boss says that who told you that I am giving you the promotion? Your mental state doesn't deserve this. I have given a promotion to that man whom I hired. Best of luck for the next time. Hearing it, Christine gets hurt. She returns home while being worried. She picks some things from her house and sells them at a shop. Still, she hasn't collected anything. To go to that girl. Then she meets her friend. He says to her that see Christine, I don't believe in these things. But only because I love you I will give you money. So that you will not feel that I didn't support you in a hard time. Or I went far away from you because of money. Hearing it, Christine becomes happy. After taking money she goes to meet that lady. Now you will get shocked after seeing this place. This is the same house that is shown at the starting of the movie. Where that innocent kid was killed. Christine comes there and meets with a lady. That fortune teller was also with Christine. Now we come to know that lady was the girl who couldn't save that kid that day. She says to Christine that I didn't forgive myself till today. That I couldn't release that kid from the curse. Because this curse is like this. But I promise to you that I will take you far from this curse. Then she takes her to the place where that kid was gone inside the earth. She shows her that place. Then they sit around a table. They were total 4 persons. Christine, fortune teller, that old lady and her assistant. That old lady says to her assistant to bring a goat. After it, she says to Christine that now we will read something. As you will feel that the soul is coming inside you. So immediately put your hand on this goat. So that it will take that goat soul, not yours. Then she says to her assistant that when you will feel that there is a soul in her. You have to cut that goat's neck. Means you have to slaughter it. With it, this curse will remove. Now they start the ritual. Then we see that the soul of the curse comes in that old woman. The fortune teller asks it that what do you want? It says in return that the soul of Christine. He immediately puts that old lady's hand on that goat. As she told her. Now that soul was in that goat. That innocent goat was looking horrible now. It was looking a deadly goat. Do you think before? As that assistant of the old lady moves forward to slaughter that goat cuts his hand. Due to which the soul of the curse transfers into that assistant. He also becomes deadly. He starts attacking everyone. But that old lady comes to her senses. She immediately takes out that cursed soul from her assistant's body. But during this her much energy was used. That cursed soul also injured her. That old lady couldn't bear this. And she dies there. Seeing it, they all get worried. Because they lose their last hope also. Christine feels hurt that just because of me how many people will lose their life. That fortune teller says to Christine that we have this last solution. That the button through which that old lady had done black magic on you. Hold it, put it into an envelope and give it to any other person. So that this curse will transfer to another person from you. Then we see that Christine was going to home. Her friend was also with her. She has packed that button in an envelope. There were also some documents with it. But on their way, an old man comes in front of them. And Christine's friend immediately applies the brake. Due to which the envelope in which there was the button and those documents mixes up. Now Christine arrives at home and her friend asks her to come to the railway station tomorrow. We will go for outing. So that you could feel good. After it, we will also decide that whom will we give this button envelope to. But after it, when she meets with her friend and was thinking that to whom she will give this envelope. But her heart was not agreeing with her. That I transfer my curse to any innocent person and that person will lose his/her life. She immediately goes to that fortune teller. She asks him that is it necessary that we can transfer this curse to an only alive humans? Can I give this curse to any dead body? Then fortune teller says yes, you can give this to that old lady. The lady who cursed you. Then Christine immediately goes to the grave of that old lady. It was raining heavily that night. Even then Christine dug her grave courageously. After seeing her dead body in front, she puts that button envelope in her mouth. She was feeling light that she has returned her curse to this old lady. The next day we see that Christine was very happy and well dressed. She goes to meet her friend at that railway station. Her friend says to her that remember yesterday our files were mixed. You took my envelope with the coin with you, and your envelope with the button was left in my car. As he shows her the envelope of the button, Christine loses her senses. Because today was the last day. It was too late to return that curse. That's why Christine falls on the railway track. Her friend tries to lift her and save her, but he fails. Meanwhile, that railway track opens from the downside. Fire comes from it. A hand of a soul pulls Christine with it on that earth. This means this curse wasn't removed and reversed. It has to take Christine's life. Even seeing this, Christine's friend couldn't save her friend. Tears remain in his eyes. And regret that why he didn't see that envelope before. While seeing that soul drags her towards hell. Means pulls her, and Christine's friend was sitting sadly. With it, this movie ends strangely and sadly. Thank you for watching.